Hi everyone! Today I want to explain how phylogenetic trees are structured and organized. Here, I will be using vessels as my operational taxonomic units, or OTUs, and explain how the phylogenetic tree I have created explains the relationships they have between one another, and how that helps to form an evolutionary story of how each of these vessels emerged. Now, this phylogenetic tree is called a rooted tree, because we can determine the sequence in which each vessel emerged on an evolutionary timescale, as we can compare each vessel to its order of emergence from the original outgroup. The outgroup is the original root of the tree, and in this case it is the antique blue bottles at the top of our phylogenetic tree. So, in this tree there was a common ancestor, or an earlier vessel in this family, that all other vessels emerged from, and it was the antique blue bottle. And we will follow the other descendants of the tree to try to form this evolutionary story. The blue antique bottles diverged, and we have an internal node here, which just means an intersection within the tree. This internal node first produced the mason jars here. The mason jars are members of the same species. We'll call them the mason jar species, but they diverged into blue mason jars and clear mason jars. Before this divergence, we could say that the development of mason jars occurred through anagenesis from the original ancestors of the mason jar family that emerged at this point, as anagenesis is the speciation that occurs without branching. We can follow the tree from the most recent common ancestor here, between mason jars and glasses, to the next internal node here, to find the next vessels that emerged. As you can see, the next vessels that emerged were the glasses here. And we had a species divergence with the tall glasses and then the short glasses. If we follow the branches of the tree, we can see that the next species that emerged were the wine glass species. Here again we had a divergence in the species that formed tall wine glasses with stems and stemless wine glasses. If we follow the last branch of this phylogenetic tree, then we arrive at the mugs. The mugs emerged through cladogenesis, which means speciation through branches. So the first species to emerge would be the blank mugs, followed by the printed mugs, followed by the most recent group to emerge, which would be the thermos mugs. So looking at the tree, we can look at the length of each branch and form our final evolutionary story. First existed the blue antique bottles, which were ancestors of every other evolutionary item on this tree. And thus, blue antique bottles have the longest branch, or the root of the tree. The next longest branch, or the next step in the tree, would be the mason jars. The next longest branch would be the glasses, here. The next longest would be the wine glasses. And then the shortest and most recently emerged species would be the mugs. Thank you for watching my brief introduction to phylogenetic trees.